lovely lot, and a big warm welcome to anybody new joining us on our channel today. Guys, if you haven't already, would you please consider subscribing? If you do enjoy this video, please take a moment and hit that thumbs up. Now guys, we're going to do a red Christmas set because we're getting closer and closer. I'm doing the voiceover and there's like 35 days to Christmas, and I know that because my daughter's brought a countdown calendar and it's smack bang right in front of me. Now I'm going to put this video up tomorrow, so it's really early hours, Saturday morning. It's nice and quiet, everybody's in bed or at work, so I thought I would take a moment and just voice over this video. It's been sat on my phone a few days now. So we are working with CJP and my favourite red, which is Vamp. I think this is my second one now, bearing in mind, you know, I don't do this as a job. That's massive. Right, okay, let's have a look. So we are working with red Vamp. I have put it all over that little finger. And then what I'm going to do is come in with Mulled wine, which is a beautiful holographic red. It's a bit of a darker red, like Vamp. It's not a bright in your face red. It's a bit more on the darker side. And I'm going to put that all over. So I dip my brush into a small, teeny tiny bit of clear acrylic into that glitter, and then wiggle my brush. And what that will do is the monomer will then come down those bristles, feed that bead, let it loose onto the nail, and then I can move it around. Now I'm going to do a sugared nail, and whenever I do a sugared nail, I always put the glitter underneath. If this was a real person and they knocked it or the glitter fell off, they wouldn't have a gap. They would see the glitter underneath. So I always do the shade of colour, acrylic, then the glitter. I will clear cap it and file it, and then sugar it, which we will come to later. Now I am using Amore as well from CJP, a beautiful, beautiful pink. And I'm going to do that all over now. I knew I was going to do something on this nail, but I didn't want it to be too busy. Honestly, last year I drew a coffee mug, like a hot chocolate with the steam coming out of the coffee cup, you know, like a proper Christmas cinnamon spiced up either latte or hot chocolate or whatever your fancy is. And I was going to do that. When I sat down to do this design, that is what I was going to draw on this nail. But I changed my mind. I didn't want it to be too busy. So this is why I'm going to do a full nail of Amore. I'm going to pop that down, keeping that shape all the time. You guys know how much I don't like filing. So if we can keep that shape, it's less filing for me to do. Now these are all cool powder, so unless it's got the glitter on, I'm not going to cap it, especially the Amore. So I'm coming in with Amore here. You can see me popping it down and then neatly nudging that into place with the tip of my brush, and then pulling the front of that bead down. Now I'm going to ombre this with that Vamp. So the only bit I'll need to cap in clear acrylic is the glitter and the ombre. Sorry guys. So I'll come in with that second bead, pop it on, and if you noticed I did it backwards, so then I can scrape my sweep my brush back, giving it a smooth transition, and I'm doing that now, and then pop the sides in and feather it down the nail. So once I'm happy with them all, I'm then going to come in with Vamp, and I'm going to pop it on the tip. This is a super pigmented colour, so by putting it at the furthest point, I get the intense colour at the tip, and then as I feather that back, it will then fade down beautifully. Now anybody who watches my channel knows that I like to have it slightly at an angle when I do ombres with a little bit of glitz on it. So what I'm going to do is just make it come down a bit further on the right side there as you're looking at the screen. So I will do that in a moment. So I'm tidying it up, look, making sure that it doesn't go over the edge of the nail, because that can happen as well, especially when you've got a deep C curve. So just make it go down a little bit on that right side, like I mentioned. Sweep it back up so the intensity of the colour comes up. And then what I'm going to do is come in with that mulled wine on my brush. So all the time, guys, I am cleaning it at the side of me. Now, one side has got the glitter on, and then once I have finished with that nail, I flip it over my little piece of tissue that I'm cleaning my brush on, so that when I clean my brush, I'm not picking up that glitter and putting it on the Amore. So that's how I keep it cleaner. All I can tell you guys is what I do and how I work. So I've got a piece of tissue at the side of me, a bit of kitchen roll. It's folded into four. One side's got the glitter on, so if I'm putting glitter on, I'll flip it over and I'll use that side while I'm cleaning my brush. And then what I've got is some red Mylar. So I'm putting a little bit, so I've tipped a little bit into a tray and I'm picking it up and I'm just putting the little bits on, and that's what you can see me doing here. So I'm putting that where that Amore pink meets that Vamp red. I'm going to make sure that's nice and flat and I haven't got any sticky up bits, that I've got the pieces of glitter exactly where I want. I'm not just shoving it on, I'm picking up because there was a really big bit and I didn't want that. So I purposely picked out the smaller bits and popped it on. I've also picked out some red holographic snowflakes, which I cut in half. I'm going to pop one at the bottom, one at the top, and then some little gold snowflake patterns. They're little, they're not quite metal, but they're not a glitter. They're in between the two. I'm sure you've seen them, they're everywhere at the moment, but they're really tiny snowflakes. They came with Christmas trees as well, but I just picked out a few of the small snowflakes to pop on. So I do go in with a teeny tiny bit of clear acrylic, pop that down because everything's now dry, and I put the small gold pieces into that clear acrylic. And all the time, guys, I'm making sure it's flat, 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 because I have got to clear cap it and I don't want a big bulky nail. So I don't like the position of that, so I nudge it up, put it where I want it and push that down. So Vamp, super, super pigmented, guys. So I flip my piece of tissue over, so we've got the red on this side, and I'm cleaning my brush, pushing it in, very gently, push it in, clean my brush. Right, so now I'm going to tuck it in, and I'm going to sweep it down. Do the same on the other side, tuck it in. Very gently, guys. Super, super pigmented. You get this on the finger, you are going to know about it. And I sweep that colour down. And I need to keep the tip of my brush clean. So I'm not wiping the whole of my brush and getting rid of the monomer. I'm actually just wiping the tip where that red is, because I need the monomer to come down the bulk of my brush, the belly of my brush. I need it to come down to the tips, feed that bead so that I can work it. So here I am with the second bead, pop it on, make sure it's nice and neat, and then feather it back, wipe the tip, and then come down each side. And then I will pat, press and pull that bead all the way down to the tip, making sure that I've got the structure and everything that I need. Wow, I don't even think I've come up for breath, have I? I haven't shut up. I know a lot of you say, you know, you've got a very calming voice and all the rest of it, and my husband laughs at that, he really does. And I do appreciate it, I really do. But you know, there's that, and then there's shut up tray. Right guys, so I have clear capped, file and buffed it into shape, and what I'm going to do is come in with a non-wipe top coat in using the Nailchemy Chrome, which is hot rod. I only got this last year, loved it. And what I'm going to do is pop that in the lamp, and once it comes out, I am going to chrome this nail. Then, making sure it's completely covered, I will then re-top coat it, pop it in the lamp, and using the Artisan nail paints from Nailchemy, guys, we're going to come in with white. And using a striping brush, I'm going to coat those bristles lightly and draw roughly where I want the line to go. So this works exactly the same as it did in my snowflake video, where I showed you 10 easy beginner friendly designs that you can do during the Christmas season. So if you haven't watched that video, guys, I will link it above, but it works exactly the same. I like to coat the bristles of the brush. That will make sure they are nice and coated in that gel, and then lightly sketch out where I want to put whatever design I'm doing. In this case it will be these swirly lines, and then I go back and load it up a little bit more, and once I'm happy I will make them a little bit thicker. I also have a old gel brush at the side of me with a lint-free white with some gel cleanse on, and I will coat it in that, and I will go in and just neaten up any edges or make it a little bit more bendy in certain areas if I feel I need to, once I'm happy and I've finished faffing around. Because guys, I am still learning this. I know everybody's like, oh, you're great and you're brilliant. I spent last year, all of lockdown, for like 6 months doing courses. I paid for a lot of courses. There was some free ones online. I also did some lives on Instagram with people that were, you know, happily giving their time, thank goodness, and basically watching and learning and practicing and doing the online courses myself. So that's what I spent last year doing, and then obviously I've had 6 months off, so I am, you know, relearning this myself, if you will. So what I can tell you is how I do it. I also will tell you that I know what you're supposed to do, but I don't always do it. So like with a long striping brush, you're supposed to use the whole length of that brush. So you rock the nail from left to right with that left hand as you're holding the finger, and that will then, you know, help to guide those bristles where you want to. But I struggled with this, so sometimes I do pick up a smaller striping brush, so where the length of the bristles isn't as long. This is great for straight lines, and I did do all right with the slightly curve. I did have to keep coming in with my gel brush on certain ones, but yeah, we're all learning together, and that's why I want to put up these videos and show you what I've learned and how I do it, and maybe help some of you out there. So guys, I've finished off these white swirly lines, full cure, and then I come in with a thin gold line in between each one. That's to tie in with the beautiful gold snowflakes we put on that middle finger. Then what we're going to do is sugar this little finger. So if you remember, we've got the glitter underneath, and then what I'm going to do is use that exact same glitter, and on that top coat I am going to sprinkle that over, dip the tip in, tap it off, and double cure that in the lamp. Then we're going to come in with Ugly Duckling's jewellery gel, which is called Stick It, and I will pop that in the centre of this ring finger, and we're going to put a beautiful wreath gel. Again, it's got those reds and golds and a touch of green, and then I'm going to just feather out those edges so we've got no lumpy bumpy bits. We want this to look beautiful and smooth when we top coat. Now I'm not going to top coat over the jewellery gel like I would usually, guys, because I want to put some gems around the cuticle area of both the ring finger and the middle finger. And if you use Chiara base on top of top coat, it will not work. It's absolutely rubbish. It slides around like an ice rink. So I do double cure that wreath. And then what I'm going to do is come in with that Chiara Sky on the two middle fingers, but I'm only going to show you this one. I'm going to use some beautiful gems and pop them around the cuticle area on both nails. Then what I will do is coat around all those gels, including the middle of that wreath, guys. I'll pop my little brush in there, give that a cure, and then we are coming towards the end of our video today. So I really do hope you've enjoyed this design. I've tried to put a little bit of artwork in there, and then some easy, like the sugaring and the glitter ombre and sticking a gem on there. I did see these gems on, I think it was Smilies glitter store. I see she's got lots of gems. There's Santas and wreaths and oh, what do you call it, the little stockings. So yeah, go over and check those out. They're exactly the same as what I've used here today. So guys, I really do hope you've enjoyed this video. Don't forget to check out every Sunday at 8 o'clock UK time. That is when I will upload my videos. And please hit that notification bell for any extra that I might put up during the week, apart from those Sunday uploads. Thank you so much, guys. Stay safe until next time. Bye.